Some of you may not know this, but I've been a personal trainer ever since I was in college. And it started because my freshman year, all of my friends would ask me, they would see my Instagram and they're like, Alaias, what did you do to lose 75 pounds? Like, what did you do? Teach me. And so again, my business brain kicked in and I was like, well, I'm a D1 athlete, so I don't have time to get a campus job like most students. So what I'll do is on Sunday, when I don't have practice, I'll train my friends, I'll take them grocery shopping so I can make some money, but then also have fun seeing my friends all at the same time. And this plan was going well for a while, but then I had one client and I failed her. And so if I could go back, this is what I would do to help her lose weight. I want to be honest that I'm really nervous to make this video because what has been ingrained in all of us with social media is to show the triumph, show the good stuff. But this is a not so good moment. This is learnings and reflections that I've had that I deeply regret, but I hope in sharing that it'll help someone who wants to lose weight, that it'll help you learn from the mistakes that I made as a personal trainer back in the day so that you can best set yourself up for success. And I want to take you guys back to when this client first came to me. She said, I have a pattern of emotional eating. I've been doing it ever since I was a little girl, and honestly, it's a trauma response from everything that's happened in my family. And she continued on saying, my family also eats really poorly. She's like, it's in my genetics. I've been eating bad ever since I was a little girl. And honestly, I partly feel like I don't even know if working with you is going to help or change me. It's in my genetics. Being obese and overweight is just who I am. In that moment, as I reflected on this, is when I should have paused. I didn't pause. We continued working together. And the next thing that we did was ultimately create her goals and create a roadmap of, okay, what do you ultimately want to achieve 12 weeks, 6 to 12 weeks after working with me? That is what we did. What we should have done is paused, because from what she's telling me about, it's in my genetics, it's just who I am. Being obese is just everything that I'm always going to be. That's a scarcity mindset. I know that now. I didn't know that then. And how do you uproot a scarcity mindset? It starts with, actually, I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget, deeply understanding why you have a scarcity mindset, and by providing proof points to your brain to show that there's abundance in the world. And so if I had to go back to my own weight loss journey, one way that I showed my brain that there is abundance and that being obese isn't just in my genetics is I surrounded myself with other people who did look athletic, who were fit, who were skinny. I don't know if skinny is the right word. I'd say fit. They were fit, in shape. They were healthy. And I just want to pause for a moment to give a little bit of grace, because I hear so many people saying like, set goals, create a vision board. It's the start of the year. Get after it. Nobody talks about how difficult it can be to get after it when all you've envisioned for all of your life is difficulty, when all you've seen all of your life is hardships. So I just want to say, if you deeply struggle with the scarcity mindset, you're not alone. But what I would say to you is don't get stuck in where you are. You can have a better place for yourself. You can see more for yourself. And the way that you do that is by listening to other people's stories, by surrounding yourself with people who have a different lifestyle than you, who you strive to be like. It's going to be uncomfortable, but push past that uncomfortable place, because when you push past that uncomfortable place, you're going to persevere and you're going to be like, why did I ever limit myself to this capability? Also, at the end of the day, we're going to die. I said that very aggressively. We're going to pass away. And so do you want to be in your last years of life thinking, wow, I wonder what would have happened if I wished for more? I wonder what would have happened if I asked for more. I used to believe when I first started my fat loss journey that I had a slow metabolism, something that gets thrown out a lot. I got a DEXA scan a couple years ago, and they're like, a DEXA scan, and I got an RMR test, and they're like, no, you actually have one of the fastest metabolisms I've ever seen. And I was like, showed you my gut health was bad, which is why I have a whole other video about gut health on my channel now. But science proved that this belief that I've had all my life fell flat on its face. Science can do that for you too. Going back to my client, the next thing that we did was roadmap. Where does she want to be 12 to 8 weeks from now? Where does she want to be when she's done working with me? What fitness goals does she want? Does she want to lose 30 pounds, 50 pounds? What is it? Give it to me. Here lies my second mistake. Health and fitness is a long-term success. It's a long-term goal. It's a never-ending goal. It's unlike if you want a job promotion in the next year and you can check it off your list once you get it. Health and fitness, you can check off milestones, but those check boxes never end because it's always continuing. And so what I know now that I wish I would have told her is that it's great that we're setting these 8, 12-week goals, but we have to think about, where do you want to be 10 years from now? When I first started my fitness journey, well, it was really my fat loss journey, both same thing, fitness, fat loss journey. I thought I wanted to be skinny. I was naive to the fact that I wanted to be, honestly, the person that I am today, which is healthy, fit, athletic, able to go to a Pilates class, able to lift heavy ass fucking weight. Okay, put some respect on my name. Able to go sprint outside, able to do a long distance run if I wanted to. I wanted to feel comfortable in my skin. I wanted to be a well-rounded human being. That is really what I wanted, but I really thought I just wanted to be skinny, which is why the goals that I set in the beginning were so focused on an outcome. They were so focused on, what do I want? They weren't focused on, how do we want to get there and what's the long end goal? When you focus in on the long end roadmap, it helps you deeply understand what do you need to do now, not to overwhelm you, but to say, oh, I actually want more than I realize. I actually want to be there for my grandkids. I actually want to be a healthy mom moving around. I actually want to be someone that's different than what I see every single day in my family. That's the power in deeply understanding your long-term goal. Focusing in on the short form only gets you so far because it has you locked. It's like your brain is laser focused on this one line thing. And when you say, actually 10 years from now, this is where I want to be, your focus becomes like this and you can breathe. And it's almost like you can roll your shoulders back a little bit because you're like, oh, what are the sustainable habits that are going to get me there? Versus feeling like I have to be there in 6 weeks, which is the next thing that we did. So after we figured out, okay, this is where you want to be. I believe she wanted to lose like 35 pounds. We said, okay, perfect. So what do we need to do every single day that's going to get you there in that time frame? So because we said 6 to 8 weeks is the goal, now we're creating habits and actions and disciplines every single day that are so restrictive, that are so, frankly, difficult to achieve because they require so much. It's so much difficult to get to that goal because so much in your life has to change today. Do you get where I'm going with this? It was like, okay, we want to lose 35 pounds and do all of this and run a mile and become, I was going to say president, but I stopped because I was like, oh, it's probably not a good time to say that. But, we set all these really big goals. I want to do all of this. I want to run 10 miles. I want to become an Olympic athlete. And it's like, whoa, where did that come from? In 6 weeks, you want to become an Olympic athlete? These Olympians have been training for years. It's unrealistic. I could kick myself now. For setting this girl up for failure. Well, technically, you could do that. You can do that. If you're like, I have a goal to get here in 6 to 8 weeks and I have to do all of this restrictive stuff to get there, you can do that. But honestly, that doesn't work for me. And I frankly feel like it doesn't work for a lot of people. Why? Because it's unrealistic. It's now saying everything that I do in a day-to-day needs to drastically shift and change. I now need to be working out for 2 hours and eating like this and eating like that. That's not realistic. To see the biggest change in your life requires the smallest of habit changes. It's the little tiny habits. It's waking up 1 hour earlier. It's taking a walking lunch break versus sitting. It's switching from a burger to a lettuce burger. It's the very small actions over time that lead to success. To save us all time, this is ultimately what happened. We set out with these really huge goals. Her motivation was super high in the beginning. She's like, I'm going to make all these changes. I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to, and then it became too difficult. And she said, I don't want to work out for 2 hours a day. I don't want to make all these drastic changes. She didn't say this verbatim, but like her action showed it. So then what happened? She doesn't see results. And now that she's not seeing results, she's looking at me side-eyed. She's looking at herself side-eyed. She's losing confidence in herself. She's feeling like all of this work that she's putting in, all of this time that she's putting in isn't worth it. Her motivation is dipping. Now her actions are a result of that. She's down on herself. She's not confident anymore. She's feeling like a failure. I try to uplift her. I'm like, no, keep going. We got this. We got this. We got this. I'm trying to be a personal trainer. I'm like, we got this. Keep going. Push through it. Push through it. We don't change the plan. Another mistake. We don't change the plan based on the failure. We keep trying to push. We keep trying to push. And she ultimately quit. And she said, it's in my genetics. It's not me to be fit. It's not in my family to be healthy. I want to cry thinking about it because I take full accountability for the mistakes that I made. I do know it's a two-part thing and it takes both of us, but I want to cry because the plan didn't set her up for success. She did the best that she could, but the plan failed her. She wasn't a failure. I just wanted to share that because as we go into this new year, as so many people have this goal to lose weight, to become a better version of themselves, to become healthier, to become happier. I don't want you to start this year with the mistakes that I've made in the past, and then you get to the end of the year and you feel like you're a failure. We have to take a very hard look at our goals, at what is that long-term thing that we want, and by doing that, we adjust. We adjust. I wish that was a word I knew back in the day. If you see a plan's not working, adjust. Make it a little bit easier for yourself to achieve that goal. If you've set a goal to work out 5 times a week and you're not doing that, change the goal to 3. You working out 3 times a week is better than you not working out at all. Say the number one reason why we failed is from the very first thing that I shared with you guys. We never shifted her to an abundance mindset. I like to call this the locker room mentality. It's probably because of my athletic background, but I read a book that talked about college teams that kind of have this winning mentality and college teams that kind of have this losing mentality. I don't know if anybody is a college football fan, but a great example is Bama. Bama is known for winning. They're known for making it to the playoffs every single year. A lot of people say it's because of the skill of the athletes on the team. A lot of people say it's because of the recruiting. A lot of people say it's because of the coaches. But in this book that I read, it actually said it had nothing to do with those things. It was because of the culture and the mindset of the Bama team. Bama believes as an institution that they are capable to win every single year, that they are capable to win every single game. And they realize that they have to put in a lot of work to win, but they have this deep, deep belief that's rooted in the culture of Bama that we can win. And if I could go back in time, that would be the very first thing that I would change to shift her from the scarcity mindset. I'm not even going to list teams that kind of have this. We all know the teams that be struggling, aka my teams. Cleveland, I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, okay? We can only do so much. To shift this from it's in my genetics, I don't have enough, I'm not enough, I'll never be enough, to I do have the capability and the capacity to win. It's the locker room mentality. It's the mindset aspect of losing weight. That is the very first place you should start, because if you don't have that, there's no point in even trying to start working out. There's no point in even trying to start eating healthy, because ultimately you're going to get to a place where if something happens, you're not going to be able to give yourself grace and you're going to feel like you're not enough. That's the first thing that I would start with, is uprooting the scarcity mindset. And then from there, crafting goals that are realistic, that are going to help you be able to achieve the success that you want to see. Then, and only then, should you do the points that I'm about to share. The first one, know what motivates you. All of us are individualistic people. Your health is extremely individualistic, and every single video of mine that you watch, know whatever tip that I give you needs to shift and adjust based on you and based on your lifestyle. What motivates me may not motivate you. You have to deeply understand what motivates you to create goals based on those, but to also reward yourself when you do things well. Some people are motivated by clothing. I just want to look good in my clothes when I go to work out. Some people are motivated by the pursuit by like the strive to do something, almost like that competitive spirit. Some people are motivated by winning. They're like, look, I just want to get another rep. And if I get that rep, I feel like I'm good. Know what motivates you and craft goals based on what motivates you, and reward yourself when you knock those goals out of the park, because I know you will. Focus on eating raw. This concept came out this year. It's been trending all over social media, and I love it because it's just a trendy way to say eat whole foods. Limit processed foods, limit sugars, limit alcohol, and go heavy on the veggies. Go heavy on the fruits. Dive in on those fresh fruits and vegetables. The more raw your food is when you're eating it, the more nutrients you're going to get from it. Track your water intake. Me, of all people, should not be saying that as I drink my latte. A lot of us don't know how much water we're taking, and the only way for you to lose weight is if your body is able to flush out all of that stuff within you. And if you're not drinking enough water, your body won't be able to flush it all out. At restaurants, make mindful choices. It's unrealistic to say that if you start a weight loss journey, you're never going to go out to eat again. When you do go out to eat, you just need to know what is within your realm. What can you do? What can you be mindful of? Eating high protein foods, maybe not getting a little drinky and just drinking water or getting tea, adding like a Caesar salad, a side of a salad or fruit or soup that you deeply enjoy or like to help fill you with some more veggies. Be very mindful, because a lot of times in restaurants, we don't see all the grease and all of the sugary stuff that they're putting in the background to make the food taste so good. And so it adds extra calories and extra fat that your body doesn't need when you're trying to lose fat. Pay attention to how full you are. This is a game changer because your girl likes to eat. I will always like to eat. I will always be a foodie. And so sometimes when I'm just enjoying my meals, I don't realize that I'm not hungry anymore. I'm just enjoying the food. And so what I try to do is stand up halfway between my meal, which I know sounds crazy, but because when you stand up, you can actually feel the pressure of your stomach more than if you're sitting. So just try to gauge it. This is one of those mindful things. It's an art. It's not a science. And you're just going to have to pay attention to your body over time. Romanticize exercise. I think the best thing that's happening right now with the girlies is that we're finally becoming obsessed with ourselves, including exercising. Exercise has this rep of being this awful, gruesome, nasty things, and the Pilates princesses are turning this on its head. I love getting dressed up to go and do my workout. I love putting on a cute little fit. I love getting some new tennis shoes. I need to get some new running shoes, and I am so geeked about it. Why? Because that's my me time. That's alaias time. That's self-care. And a lot of times we feel like we need to go spend a bag on a purse, or we need to go spend a bag on a new fit. For me, my workout is my bag. Me feeling fit and healthy, there is no better feeling. And I want that for you. And so if you want to lose weight, do the steps that I've called out in this video. And of course, if you have any questions, I already know you're going to let me know in the comments, because that's what besties are for. I love you. I'm always going to be here for you. And just know you can do anything that you set your mind to. Anything. Just believe it. Believe it deep in your heart. Okay? I love you. I'll see you soon. Right now, it's just you.